Whether it is for your campsite or for your home, little woodland creature banners are so much fun to make, and with the ScanNCut DX, it is a snap. Hey guys, May Flaum here, and we are going to dig into some fun creating today, making a banner. Now I'm going to make this entirely out of paper, but just as a side note, as we're getting started here, you could create this out of felt, fabric, vinyl. You could use a variety of materials or a mixture of materials with the ScanNCut. I'm just doing paper because that's going to work the best. I want a super lightweight banner to hang here. So to get started, I am selecting my banner base. So the piece that will be the base of my banner, and I'm going to go ahead and go into Object Edit, and I'm going to rotate it for my own visual so I can see and imagine how it's going to be. Then I'm going to adjust the height as well as the width until it is the desired size. Once I have this adjusted, I am going to say OK, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece out and then continue on to the next piece. Now I do want to make sure my half cut is off. By the way, if I'm cutting cardstock or anything that I want to cut all the way through, you want that half cut off. Now with that piece cut, we're going to move on to the next, which is going to be a heart shape, and this is going to be for the nose. And so I'm going to go in, and for the most part, guys, these are patterns that are in the pre-cut, pre-ready to go, all set in your machine designs. And again, we're going to press that little arrow up and down. What that's doing is allowing me to size just the height or just the width. And the reason this is important is it's going to allow me to get the exact dimensions that I'm looking for. So it's not going to force me into keeping the proportions that this file has. It's going to allow me to customize that, which is really great. Once I have the desired height as well as width, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out of white cardstock because this is going to be the white piece for the nose. And we're going to continue to repeat these steps with all of the pieces. Now, one of the things that I'm going to do here is actually start to put together and verify that I like the pieces. But first, one more, the nose. I'm going to pick an oval. I'm going to make it black. And I've already looked at and measured approximately how high and also how wide I want this piece and what would look best. I'm going to be making 2 of these. Because it's going to hang off the bottom, I think that I want it to be 2 pieces of cardstock thick for stability. I think it will just work out a little better. So I'm sizing it up, adding 2, and then go ahead and cut, this time out of black cardstock. Now at this point I'm going to pause and assemble, and the reason is, so that's my dowel, that's going to be what my banner hangs off of, and I just want to take a look at this just for general reference that yes, that's going to work. I think that's going to look good. I stop here with 3 pieces because these are my 3 base pieces. So I want to make sure that the sizes are good. I want to make sure things are going together and that things are going to be an appropriate sizing. I also want to put these together so that now I can reference these 3 pieces as I select more pieces and more parts. Once you adhere this heart on, you may find that after you put the heart on, that there is a little bit of cardstock there at the corner that sticks out. Just take your scissors and trim it off, no big deal. Of course, you could have made the heart even bigger, but for me, for my purposes, I wanted this exact size. Once this is on, you're going to go ahead and get out the nose pieces, put a little dry adhesive. You could use a liquid adhesive or a hot glue, but I just find that the double-sided tape works really well for this and is really all I need. Once these pieces are on, I need to determine for the eyes. And what I ended up coming up with, you've got lots of options, circles, ovals, layers. I decided kind of a closed eyelash look is what I wanted. And so as you can see, I had lots of drawings there. I drew the closed eyelash that I wanted, and I'm going to scan in and actually create my own cut file of this. This is one of the features I love the most about the ScanNCut. So easy to work with. So once onto my mat, we're going to scan into the machine. And we're going to use the scan feature. We're going to use scan to cut data. And the reason we're going to select that is the option you want when you're creating a data file. When you're not trying to cut the actual material you're scanning, if it's, in this case, it's a drawing that we want to create a cut file from. So you select which way you want this, and I just need an outline, simple outline. And then you're going to pull your corners in so that only the eye itself, only that little eyelash itself is in here. Once you've got this done, if you need to, you preview it, make sure it looks good. You can also smooth it. Now, the great thing about this smoothing is this is a hand-drawn line. So, is it a little bit rough way up close when we zoom in? Maybe. The smoothing feature just tells the ScanNCut, hey, you know what, the line might be a little rougher than the artist intends. Smooth it out a little bit, just kind of ease it down a little bit. And that's what that does. You can zoom in there if you want to verify, if you want to make sure that everything looks good. And then once you are satisfied with everything, you're going to go ahead and press OK, and you're going to save this. I'm going to save this to my machine because I'm going to jump right back in and use it immediately. So I think that's the best way to go for me. But you could also save to USB, whatever it is that works for you. Now we go back into the cut files, and there it is. We're going to pull it out and go ahead and select it. And then with it on our screen, we're going to go into the edit screen, object edit, and we're going to plus it because we want 2 of them. Now I am going to go ahead and press that button, the 2 arrows facing each other on one of them. This is going to make it so that my eyelashes face each other. This is not necessarily vital for cardstock, except that my cardstock is smooth on one side, textured on one side, so it is in fact important because we want one eyelash to go either direction. We're going to go ahead and cut this out and then continue on our quest to find all the little foxy pieces. This is a circle, and as you can see, it's got like a little pinked edge. I'm going to use this kind of like whiskers for the sides of the face. I'm going to cut it out, and the sizing, I went and looked and measured at my banner that we've been partially putting together and made sure that this was a size that would be appropriate, that this is a size that's going to be good for my project. Once I have that done, once I am happy with that, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. And I'm cutting it out and then cutting it in half from the same background material that my actual banner itself is made from. We're really gathering pieces now, and I've got a couple more pieces that I want. In fact, now we're going to move on to flowers and leaves, things for like up by the ears. The ears are going to just be simple triangles, white as well as the same kind of reddish brown color that I've got going for the base. And we've got more. Oh, we've always got more. So I think some little flowers, little buttons, little leaves and things are going to be really cute up towards the ear, up towards the top of our banner. So to start off with, I'm going to pick a leaf, and you can just pick one that you like. And then once you've got it and you're happy with it and you're liking it, you can go ahead and add that. And then you can go in and size it. You can add additional leaves. You can add more. You can size those so that you can get a variety of sizes. You could also do a variety of leaves. You could create a variety of colors if you would like to create a variety of colors. You have endless options here, different materials, really whatever you would like, whatever you look at and think, gosh, that's going to look really great. I really want, this element to be a part of my project. Then I'm going to go into this flower, and this particular flower has a bunch of different pieces. I'm going to go ahead, and you notice when I hit add, it takes me back to the flower design because it is multiple pieces to this design. And that's a really great feature because you don't have to go digging all the way back in. It's just going to pull you back to that flower initially so you can pick additional pieces. So I'm going to pick a couple of those, and I'm going to repeat where I add in the edit screen, where I add additional pieces, do additional designs. Now, one other tip here, you could cut this out of the paper, the color that you wish, leave it alone, and then recut. So cut a second time on a different piece of paper. Same designs, different piece of paper to get more colors. You might see here, I've got white paper. That's exactly what I did was I left all the flowers on alone, put a different sheet of paper in there, this time white, and went for it. So now it's assembly time, which is super exciting because honestly, this project is so easy and so much fun to make. It is a little bit of thinking. It does take a little bit of time, but once you get going, oh my goodness, is it a good time? Is it so much fun to make? So I've got my little cheeks. I'm kind of starting from the bottom up, putting my whiskers on. Again, I'm just using a dry adhesive because I feel like that works just fine. Then I'm going to add my eyelashes, again with dry adhesive, just a little bit, and then get them there on my face where I feel like they should be. And continue to work my way up. There's a lot of different pieces that you could do. There's a lot of different creatures that you could do. But as you can see, it's really key to just start with the bigger base pieces and then work your way in to what other pieces are necessary. Now, once I've got the top, as you can see there, I've got the dowel in, I've got it rolled over. I did this part before I did the ears and flowers because I needed to know exactly where the top was going to be. So with these done, I'm just using my fingers to pinch the petals to give them more dimension. And now I am using hot glue just because we're going to add buttons and things on here. And in that situation, it becomes a little more of a heavy duty adhesive is probably going to work just a little bit better in this situation. So I'm going to go ahead and bend the leaves a little bit, add a little bit of shape. You could use a pencil and roll petals or roll the leaves if you prefer that kind of a look. A lot of options here. The real big thing, you could add ink, you could add paint to the edges, whatever depth and texture you would like. It's really just about bringing this project to life, about adding more. And as you can see, I've got my ears glued to the back. I'm adding a few more little details and flowers. I'm adding a couple of buttons to the center of my flowers. Really just about the finishing touches, about what else would I like to see here? What else do I think will add to my project? In this case, there's some leaves, and you might notice I just tore the bottom of that leaf off. If you get in a situation where you're trying to tuck something under, but there's already glue there so you can't, just tear or cut a little bit off so that it will fit along the edge as I did right there. I hope I've really inspired you with this project. I hope you will want to create. I'm adding a little bit of pen work along my fox here. I'm also going to add a few ribbons and twine so I can hang it up, whether outside or inside. This project certainly was a lot of fun. Thanks for tuning in. I hope to see you in the future for even more crafty ideas with the ScanNCut. Have a wonderful and creative day.